want to look like you've got your life together without the salon time and money, then you're the right place. This video is for you. This is my weekly body glow up maintenance vlog, and I'm showing you how I'm doing my fake tan, my press-on nails and my eyelashes at home that actually last. And what am I lovelies, this is not one of those watch me and be cute videos, because I've learned through trial and tragedy, and I want you to copy this routine without all the disasters that I had to go through. So we are going to be talking about fake tan that will last you 7 days, press-on nails that will last you for 2 weeks without budging, and then at home lashes that will last you a solid 5 days without any messing around. You'll get all my best tricks and mistakes to avoid, and how I stack these habits so the whole beauty routine will take you less than an hour and a half every single week. I will also show you what not to do to ensure that your glow remains fresh. Plus, I will be doing an honest review at the very end of the video about press-on nails versus acrylic nails, because, spoiler, I have opinions. So grab your fake tan, your gloves, your mint, your press-on nails, your lashes, because we are about to get cute with low maintenance but high standards. Just rubbing it all off. Can you see how it's just gonna be, make sure you pay really good attention around your ankles, just pull across, and then I'm going to show you the other side of your foot. So ankles, you can pay attention here. The product tends to build up just around my ankle, really. Again, just keep scrubbing on top of your legs, around your knees, back of your legs as well. Done. Very good. Today I'm going to do my nails, my press-on nails. We're going to replace them. Look, oh, that's lifting. That's not. But anyway, a few of them are lifting, so we're going to do that today. So I'm just setting myself up for fake tanning. I've got hair mask on, hair oil on. The first thing you'll need to do is you need to cover your hair, otherwise it's gonna get messed up. And I'm gonna grab my tent, my fake tan tent. There it is. Let's set this up in the middle of the room, right here. Take this up, and then I put 2 towels at the bottom. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I have 2 truss towels that I put down at the bottom. Yes. I'm gonna turn the camera off, and I'm gonna find a fake tan top, because you'll need something that you're not worried about getting tan on. Right, so this is where it gets a bit fun. You will need a fake tan glove. I'm just using some yellow marigold. Your fake tan solution, which I transferred into a spray bottle. Some sort of ointment, because that will prevent you from getting dark underarms and bits and stuff like that. And a little brush to buff your fingers and toes and all that. And then what you will also need is some baby powder, which I don't know where it is. So it's here. So I've got some baby powder, and then you will need a pair of pens, because you don't want your bits to have a different weird orangey colour. I do put them on my nipples because I'm super pale, and I just like the look of a brown nipple. I've got the things that you would call ghost tits, which means my nipples are the same colour as the rest of my body, and I don't like it. I like it when it's nice and brown. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go over my boobs. You need a pair of socks to protect your feet from getting yucky when you step in this little cabin. And then obviously I'm going to take this top off camera once I finish showing you how I'm buffing in the products. But we are starting off with the ointment. And then you're going to do this much and put it on your underarm. And it has to be an oily, sticky, thick cream. You could use the blue Nivea cream, you could use just the standard ointment that you use on babies' bottoms when they are born, and you apply it onto your underarm like this. A little bit more, and then you put it on your elbows like this. Other elbow. Job's a good one. And then we don't need this anymore now. Right, and my tan of choice is this Cyanusol Express tan. I sometimes switch it up and I try different stuff. I like Bondi Sand, Saint-Tropez. I don't really like it. I think it's too orange for my liking. Molly Mae's fake tan is not really for me. I like this one, Bondi Sand. Oh, what's the other one? Oh my god, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, we're using this one today, and what I've just done is I transferred from this huge into this spray bottle so it's easier to apply. So make sure that you put on some underwear, as I mentioned before, because girl, your bits will go darker. So underwear is a must and socks are a must. But first, we're gonna start with the upper body, and I'll show you how we do it. I do not use a mitt, by the way. I just use my marigold. My boobs are out and I don't want to do that. So first I start from top to bottom. So one spray and then rubbing it all in. And I'll do my face at the very end. I'll work my way down like this. So chest, and now do one spray on the arms just because I'm super pale. Like this. Let me just move you a bit closer. If you remember, in another video I showed you don't go over your elbow. So you do your arm everywhere, underneath everywhere, but leave this circle around your elbows. Because for me, that's where the colour really catches. And then in the end, I'll show you a little trick how you can just buff it out nicely and it will come out super pretty and not patchy and all evenly developing. I find that if I go over my elbow, that will just develop a bit darker. So I'm not the biggest fan of it unless you've naturally got melanin in there. That's one thing that doesn't bother me. So if I see a darker skinned person, for example, and they have, let me just wipe it. I shouldn't have done it here. And they have darker elbows, knees, or what have you, it doesn't bother me. But as soon as I overdo my fake tan on it, maybe because it's fake, I just don't like it on myself. So you've done your upper body. Now let's move on to the legs. Right, so final touches are doing your hands and your feet. So take one spray of the fake tan. I've not put any cream on my hands just yet because I find it sometimes when I do it with cream, it muffles it all up. Nothing actually came out, so there we are. Another one. So now this. Oh, you like my new nails? So cute. And then put your finger in a close shape, buff it all in the creases. And then that is it. So it's around your wrist, a little bit on the edges. And it shouldn't go ridiculously dark because that's when my hands goes orange. So when you finished applying it, your hand shouldn't be this dark, for example. So if you notice that you've got too much product on your brush, just work it in your chest a little bit just to get rid of some of the product buildup on your brush, because that's when your hands are going orange. And you must have seen it on a few of my videos, because sometimes when I'm in a rush they go orange and I just hate it. Like this, applying it, buff it all out, and then go back into your elbows. All you do is just very gently buffing the existing product in and around. On camera it still looks whiter than the rest of it, but that's a good thing because we just brushed over a tiny little amount of products over your elbows, so they will develop, and they're always going to develop than the normal tan on your skin. So you don't want to work too much products in, otherwise it's going to look orange. So just teeny tiny, work it in like this around it. Jobs are good in. Oh, absolutely winning. So let me just put the fan on for a sec. Right, so I'm just moving into the bathroom and do my legs super quick. So one palm on the top of my leg, and then I'll do the same, one palm, and now massage it in at the back of my leg. And then I'll do, oopsie, let me move the camera a little bit. What are you doing there?
I love you.
I love you too. You are the best boy ever. And I'll do one more in here. And then I completely avoid my knee area. What is my baby doing there? And then one spray on the lower leg at the front and one spray at the back. And then once it's all done, this, make sure it's all going in nicely. Yes?
I love you.
I love you too. And then what you're gonna do is just go over your knees, just with a tiny little product. You don't add any extra on top of it. You just basically...
Can I stop here?
Oh, I'll go in 1 second. I'm almost done. And then basically repeat the same thing on your other leg. Apologies, my camera decided to go out of focus the whole time. So awkward. Anyway, same principle as your arms. Just use very long strokes on your legs, not too much product. So a couple of pumps on each leg to start with, and leave out your knees, your ankles, and the top of your foot, just like what you did with your elbows, because the tan will catch on to it so much more than everywhere else. So do your first layer and apply another couple of pumps on each legs, and then once you're finished, you grab that little trusted brush that you use for your hands, and then you buff the product in between your toes, on your ankle, just very lightly go over it. So next time I'll get a bit more prepared. Right, so for your feet, again, same principle, tiny little spray there, and then just work it all the way in. So that instantly looks too much product, so I'm gonna start working in my other foot like this. So that will give my other feet a chance to dry off a little bit, and then I can work it in a bit better, see? Because if I don't do it, it just ends up super dark the next day. And then you need to be really working it in around your ankle. Right, so they do look slightly different colored, but don't get alarmed in this line because, as I said, your feet will always develop darker, so you need much less product on it. And then voila, and my other feet is here. On camera actually it looks really patchy, but I promise you it will develop really nicely. And then your finishing touches are basically get some baby powder, and then you're gonna put some on here, in between your chest, behind your knee, and just on your V-line at the crotch area. Nowhere else. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll come back and I'll show you what we're doing at the end. So you're gonna get a wet wipe, like a baby wipe. And then you're going to wipe your palms in between your fingers, but don't go too high in between your fingers because you will take some fake tan off. Trust me, I've done it before. So just lightly brush it, and then you go over your little nail, like this. Same on the other hand, so wipe it all off, in between, nicely, not too high, and then on your nails. And you will do the same on your feet as well. But now you're gonna have some fake tan clothes. Mine is this trusted little outfit. So you need to find something that you can just sleep in, and you don't mind getting this coloured. I'm using an old top I stole from my husband, and then I'll just do this basically. And without doing anything to my underarm, because remember I put some ointment on, I'm just gonna put some of my deodorant on, like this. By the way, this is the best deodorant if you ask me. I think I'm not the sweatiest person, but this, no smell ever. You can do anything and you won't smell. And I've got a long trouser, quite baggy. So that is my fake tan trousers. Put these on and we are done. Honestly, this baby powder hack, absolute game changer. If you haven't done it before, get used to it, get to know it, because that is the trick. Especially, it's getting warmer in England. It's not hot, but it's very humid, and I sweat it off. Otherwise, so we are done, and I'm going to check back in tomorrow what it looks like. Well, I hope you can see me properly, but one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that I've got another glow up video that I'm going to be linking in just up here, that I'll show you how I'm doing my press-on nails and waxing my face. I've got peach fuzz, I cover some fake tanning again. What else did I do in that video? I did my eyebrows, I did my eyelashes, I'll link it here. Oh, one thing I should have mentioned, take all your jewellery when you do your fake tan. That's including all your rings and all your piercings or anything that's like jewellery. Take them all off, we don't need them. Right, I'm just going to take my makeup off again, and then I'm not going to fake tan my face because I've just done it yesterday. I topped it up, so I don't always sync my fake tanning to my face tan situation. As I said, I'm trying to cut down on my fake tan application. I used to do 3 layers of fake tan, and now I only do a very light 1 layer, and it just seems to be more natural. But I've changed my hair back to blonde, so you'll see it tomorrow, because the red was just so much maintenance. My extensions were very easy. They held onto the colour really nicely, but unfortunately my own hair just constantly dropped the colour out, so it's just not sustainable anymore for me. So unfortunately I had to stop that. Well, let's take this off and then you'll see. Do you know what? No, my face looks kind of pale, so I might do a little bit of fake tan on my face actually. Why not? I'm actually really loving my skin at the minute because I'm taking a break from retinol. I just went back on the retinol journey, but because it's summer in England and it doesn't have a lot of sun, but it's still quite high UV rays, so I stopped using my retinol at the minute. And honestly, my skin, just look how nice my skin is. Am I just dripping? It's really nice, isn't it? And what I'll do, in my little vanity, I've got this tiny little spray bottle that I picked up in a real Home Goods for £1. I'm working stand a workout from. Anyway, it's super cheap. And what I'll do is 1 pump, and I work it all in everywhere. I don't really do any contouring because I like it tan all across my face, and I'm quite lucky I don't get irritated by fake tan on my face. So if you're someone that's acne prone or sensitive skin, use it at your own risk. Yeah, try it out. I've got quite a good thick skin on my face. So here we are. Look how much I'm sweating already. What the? So hot. Anyway, face is done. See you tomorrow. And if you want to see how I'm balancing it all without completely losing my mind, I'm going to link it down below and somewhere up here. That's just a quick disclaimer. Oh, these are the nails I'm, by the way, just lined up. Like, I measured the nails and I lined them up. So you have got your thumb, pointing middle nail, ring finger and little finger. So they all line up and I'm just ready to be glued on. Right, so I'm just going to do my thumb next. Ignore this scabby thing. I've just butchered my thumbs. And what I'll do, if I find that some of these press-on nails are too curved for my liking, I straighten them up a little bit by pulling them apart like this, and that just helps not having that gap in the middle of your nail to like curve up. So I'm going to straighten it up, try not to bend it too much. That looks really good. And then I'm going to file down the sides a little bit like this, because it needs to fit flush against your nail bed, so it's the side wall. Do the other side as well, just file it down a little bit. This is looking really good, perfect fit. And then what you do is, as I said, I've already cut my cuticle, so we don't worry about that one now. Buff up the nail, wipe it with acetone to dry it out nicely, and then I'll push the cuticle back one more time so it's definitely nice and high, so I can place the nail up a little higher like this, push it all up. Right, and then you're gonna grab your sticky nail tape glue, which is this right here. Find the size that fits your nail. So in my case is this one here, the largest. Is going on my thumb all the way to the top, on the sides, and then I use this cuticle pusher to really work the sticky nail tape glue in. So use my hand, and then you're gonna grab a hairdryer and dry it for 10 seconds like this on the high heat. Done. And then put my finger in there just to make sure it's all melted nicely on my nails. Take off the cover of the sticky nail tape glue, which can be a bit fiddly. Sometimes you'll find it wants to take off the whole thing, so try to avoid ripping it the whole thing off. Just try to grab the cover, and the trick you can do is at the edge really flatten down the nail tape glue, then hopefully it helps you lift off the cover a bit easier. And what's just happened, if you see anything like that, if it's broken, oh no, it came off altogether, but sometimes this see-through cover of the sticky nail tape glue split and breaks. You do need to make sure that you take the whole thing off, because the glue won't stick to that plasticky cover otherwise that well. So make sure that it's fully removed everywhere, because your nail will lift. And then add some nail glue, liquid nail glue, to the press-on nail and to your own nail. And then once ready, start at the very top where you want your nail to go, and then press it down. I'm going to keep it there for 5 seconds, and then after 5 seconds I'll show you what I'll do. So I'll grab a bottle or anything like that has a softish flat bottom. I hold it down there, and then I'll do this. Just shimmy it from side to side, up, down. And what it does, it makes sure that every single side of the nail has been pressed down. But I'm not pressing too hard, I'm just pressing it hard enough so that the glue is definitely in contact with my nail bed. And then I would recommend you to keep it there for a couple of minutes, to be honest. Luckily there's no extra glue come out of the side, so that's always a bonus, but this is first nail done. So one thing I want to show you is a good trick. What's the difference between handmade and some normal press-on nails? So I said this is just like a book standard cheap press-on nail, which I also love because look how cute they are. It's super shiny. Can you see it, how shiny it is inside? Whereas this one is all roughed up, so this will stick a lot more. And this is a lot thicker as well, as these ones. There's a bend a little bit more. And this is not too bad, I'll take that back, but look how shiny it is. It's nothing to really grip to, but I still like them and I still buy them because I think the design can be really cute. And then the final touch is what I do on these press-on nails is just make sure that they all file down really nice, blends in with my natural nail. So I'm just gonna do that. And if you remember, there was this little fluff from the cotton wool. I'll typically file that off just nicely and neatly. So let's do that. So it's all seamless, blends in with each other. And the areas that I'm focusing on is at the sides of my nail beds, to make sure that my own nail blends in with the press-on nails really nicely. If I'm being honest, it's not going to replace a very good nail tech. I had a really good nail tech years ago whose nails easily lasted the 4-week mark, never had any problems. I just didn't have much time on my hand, and then we went into lockdown at the same time, and I started doing my own nails, and I haven't looked back since. But if you like to pampering yourself, I still think getting your nails done with a professional that knows what they're doing and are good at their job can't be beaten, because it is such an experience. You go in there, get yourself pampered, gives you nice designs and all that. But each to their own. I am really enjoying doing my own nails. It's a lot cheaper and I can pick and choose when I want to do it. I can take 30 minutes here and there out of my time, which I think is nothing really. And I typically put something really cute on Netflix or watch a TV show Love Island, Love is Blind, whatever I'm watching. One with that. Last one. Let me go outside and I'll show you. So cute. Look how like a mermaid. So adorable. Very nice. So sweet. Let me show you my other hand because that's less budget, I guess. There. Love it. Absolutely. Look how cute. Love them. So cute. Right. So this is my fake 10 results before, without showing anything. So remember what I said to you about your hands, not to put too much on it. See, it's absolutely perfectly developed, and here there is no darkness around your underarms. It's just really seamlessly blended. Oh, look how nice. Just super natural. There's no patchiness. Look at my hands as well. Just so even all the way. Let me put my feet up here. There. Just a nice even tan. Love it. So nice. Just got out of a hot bath. But you can see it. It's just a nice even tan. So make sure you not go over too much on your elbows, your knees, the top of your foot and your ankle, and on your hands, and that way it will just develop as a nice even colour. But this is really just a nice golden colour, really. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is it. Right, but I do have another video I've done on fake tan. I'm gonna link it up here and then you can have a look at it. I've covered in the how I'm waxing my face and my press-on nails. Oh, let's just have a look at my press-on nails in this lighting. This has been 4 days now, I think. I'm filming this in different sections, so look how pretty these mermaid nails are. I absolutely love them. But I just got back from the gym, absolute state of me, so well, great. Still doing 75 hard. I've got another couple of weeks left, but I honestly cannot wait to put it behind me because this round has not been the easiest. I've not been enjoying it. I've not been on top of it. As in, I managed to hit all my points every single day because I don't want to start over, but I'm not enjoying it and I'm not going over and beyond to make sure that I'm progressing well enough. So I've not measured myself, I've not weighed myself because I know, I can just tell that I got fat. I've definitely put on some weight, so I need to snap back into it. If you've got any tips to just get out of this slump, please do so because I'm really struggling. I did document my 75 hard journey actually. I link it up somewhere here, I don't know, put it somewhere on the top of the screen. There's a whole playlist, mainly YouTube shorts, and I think I've done 2 or 3 videos on how I'm balancing 75 hard and motherhood and studying and 9 to 5 and being a wife and running a household, so check it out if you fancy it. Right, so just gonna do my lashes for the next few days, and I'm using, hang on, I've lost a pair of lash, there it is. So I'm using some cheap lashes from Shein. They come in like this, and I cut the 2 end bits like this much. See, because they come like this long and I don't need that much. So I cut 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I lied. I cut 3 off at the ends and I keep 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a trim. And then you keep this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then chop this bit here. So you'll end up with a lash. Something like this. Right, so back to the lash that we had already. They are ready to put on. What I also like to do is just make them a bit more curved. So I mush them around like this, which just make them a bit more easier to mold to your eyes. I'm going to do the same on the other one. Curve it. So the first thing I do to make it blend really nicely is just put some eyeliner on my eyelids on the top like this. I cut my fringe so short, but you know what? It is what it is now. There's nothing I can do. Now with this eyeliner, you don't need to worry about getting it perfect because, as you can see, it's really not perfect, but you don't need it. You just need something that helps disguise the eyelash a little bit better. And then you let it sit for a minute or 2. And I'm using a really cheap eyelash glue from Shein, which is the Mickey latex free glue. Honestly, it's really good. I just started buying latex free glues and I haven't looked back ever since. To be honest, I never used normal ones because I was worried that I have an undiagnosed latex allergy, and I just always bought, keep it down, I always bought latex free one because I thought that's just how they perform a bit better. So, and then on this eye as well, it's a really gloopy glue, which is great in the way that it will stick a lot more and a lot better, but it makes the application a little bit more difficult. Can you just not talk just for 5 minutes? Can you? Thank you. I'm trying to film this video. Take Thank you. Hello. You'll be very quiet. You're not done a very good job so far, being quiet. So you've done your eyelids and then you pop the glue on top of it. And what the way you need to do it is hold the lash like this, so the strip way comes to your way, and imitate how you would put it on your eyelids. So hold it like this, and the glue doesn't go the traditional way that you would normally put it. You put it almost on top of your strip lash, so you're not putting it on the bottom side, because if you put it on top of it, it will allow you to just pop it on, and it gives a lash lift in a sense rather than poking straight ahead. But I'll show you once they dry. So this is good. And if you ever get glue anywhere that you didn't want, like I just did now, where I managed to get it in on my bottom lash, then you'll get some eye makeup remover, very little, and then you're going to take that off. Well done. I did that really well, not anyway. So that's all you do, just dab it off super quick. I just brush my hair because it's tangling. My extensions are tangling already. I really hate it. They tangle so quick recently. I don't know why. I'm not doing anything different. Maybe because it's just a bit more warmer now and a bit more sweaty. I don't know. But they do seem to tangle a lot more. Right, so now that we removed that pesky little additional glue that we don't need, wait about 60 seconds for the glue to get a bit tacky. As you can see on my eye, they already dried clear, because the tackier it is, the easier it will stick, and you don't need to faff around with it too much. Got your trusted tweezer. It's still a bit of glue that doesn't need to be. I don't understand. I don't know how I've done this. Right, sorted now. So I think we are there. So let's try one eye. Let's see. One eye is done, but this looks so unnatural when I have no makeup on. But then I love what it looks like when I put makeup on, and it all blends in really nicely with the makeup. Can you hear my little one in the background? What's the emergency? Oh, that's stuck on. Wow, that sometimes happens if it's stuck on your tweezer. And just take it off and start again. Like that, there. Because the glue is still tacky, so I'm just going to grab onto it really nicely. And you remember what I said about putting the glue on top of your lashes where it would touch your eyelid? Because this way you'll get a nice lifted look rather than the lashes to touch straight ahead. Right, I'm not going to do anything to it tonight. I'll check back tomorrow morning when I'm doing my makeup, and then you can see the actual final results, because they will blend really nice with my makeup. It does look a bit much because I've not fake tanned and I'm not wearing any makeup, so I look like a ghost with spider lashes. I'll tell you what, this glue actually stuck on my skin. There's the culprit. So check back tomorrow. Alright, let's go to the gym. Let's see my eyelashes from last night. Can you see it? It blends really nicely. Well, I think. Nice. Probably a bit more fluffy for you than to me, but hey, I like it. So if this video inspired you to spend £20 to look £300 and expensive and rich and just ready to the day every single day, then please subscribe and like and comment down below. What was your favorite part? Is there anything that you learned from me? Is there any tips that you could teach me? Because I'm always out on the lookout for doing things better in a more efficient way, in a cheaper way. And if you're nosy like me, next week I'm going to be doing a video on a lazy girl busy meal prep. It's not going to be a Michelin 5-star meal prepping type of video, because quite honestly at the minute I just don't have the time for that. So I'm filming a full week of easy budget friendly meal prepping that you can just throw together. It's almost like a girl dinner type of meal prep. That's not going to be the most aesthetic, but it's going to be the most practical, whilst giving you the most flexibility to pick and choose and pick and mix what you want to put together with your meal prep during the week. Or if you're a working mom or a very busy lady, that video is going to be for you. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week in the meal prepping video. Bye!